On September 7, 1996, in the electric glow of Las Vegas, the world was about to lose one of its most powerful voices. Tupac Shakur, a figure of immense talent and contradiction, was at the peak of his career. But in a matter of hours, his story would take a violent, tragic turn, leaving a void in music and culture that is still felt decades later. This is the story of not just his final night, but of the forces that converged to silence a legend. The night began with triumph. Tupac was in Vegas to watch his friend, boxing champion Mike Tyson, defend his title at the MGM Grand. After Tyson's swift victory, the atmosphere was celebratory. But a moment of violence inside the casino lobby would set a fatal chain of events in motion. Surveillance footage captured Tupac and his death row entourage in a heated confrontation, attacking a man named Orlando Anderson, a known member of the Southside Compton Crips. This brief, brutal encounter was seemingly over as quickly as it began, but it was an act of retaliation that would have devastating consequences. Later that evening, Tupac was riding shotgun in a black BMW, driven by Death Row Records CEO Suge. They were heading to a club, part of a convoy of cars moving through the crowded Las Vegas Strip. Fans on the sidewalk shouted Tupac's name. As they paused at a red light on Flamingo Road, a white Cadillac silently pulled up alongside them. Without warning, a barrage of bullets tore through the passenger side of the BMW. Tupac was struck 4 times in the chest, arm, and thigh. Suge, though grazed by shrapnel, managed to drive them away from the scene before being stopped by police. Tupac was rushed to the University Medical Center. For 6 agonizing days, he fought for his life, undergoing multiple surgeries while on life support. The world held its breath, hoping for a miracle. But on September 13, 1996, Tupac Amaru Shakur succumbed to his injuries. He was just 25 years old. His death sent shockwaves across the globe, leaving millions of fans in mourning and sparking a mystery that would last for nearly 3 decades. For years, the case went cold. Theories swirled, pointing fingers at rivalries, gang affiliations, and industry politics. The most persistent rumor centered on the East Coast-West Coast rap feud, specifically with the Notorious B.I.G. and Bad Boy Records. But those closest to the situation knew the truth was likely rooted in the streets. The fight with Orlando Anderson at the MGM was seen as the primary motive, a direct act of disrespect that, in the world of gang culture, demanded a violent response. Orlando Anderson himself consistently denied being the shooter and was never charged. He was killed 2 years later in an unrelated gang shooting, taking whatever he knew to his grave. The silence around the case was deafening, a testament to the code of the streets and a fear of retaliation. The investigation stalled, and for a generation, it seemed Tupac's murder would remain one of music's greatest unsolved mysteries. Then, in 2023, a breakthrough that no one saw coming. Las Vegas police arrested Duane "Keefe D. Davis, a former Compton gang leader and the uncle of Orlando Anderson. For years, Keefe D had openly talked in interviews and in his own memoir about being in the white Cadillac that night, placing his nephew, Orlando, as the gunman. He admitted the shooting was direct revenge for the MGM fight. Now, authorities charged him with murder, not as the triggerman, but as the mastermind who orchestrated the hit. The arrest finally brought a name and a face to the long unsolved crime. Tupac's murder wasn't just the loss of a musician. It was the silencing of a generation's poet laureate. He was a complex artist who embodied the struggle and beauty of the Black experience in America. He gave voice to the voiceless, speaking on poverty, police brutality, and systemic injustice with a raw honesty that was both celebrated and feared. His music was a mirror to society, reflecting the harsh realities of life in the ghetto, while also offering messages of hope and resilience. He was an actor, an activist, a revolutionary thinker whose potential felt limitless. Even in death, Tupac's influence only grew. His posthumous albums sold millions, and his image became a global symbol of rebellion and artistic integrity. His words are studied in universities, his poetry is published in books, and his philosophy continues to inspire new generations of artists, activists, and thinkers. He created a legacy that transcended music, cementing his status as a cultural icon. The story of Tupac Shakur is a powerful reminder of how brilliance can rise from the most difficult circumstances and how tragically it can be extinguished. While the world may now have answers about his final days, it is his life, his art, and his unwavering voice that truly define his legacy. A legacy that proves, even decades later, that a legend never truly dies. Thanks for watching.